that hopefully aren't seen on camera. Hid by my jeans. Hi, I'm Katie Line. I'm here with Leah Hutcheon today from Appointed, and we are doing a Product Forge Livestream Q&A. So, Leah, can you tell us a bit of background about Appointed?
Yeah, sure. So Appointed is now an online booking and business management software system. Didn't really start out like that. It's been quite a kind of a journey from the initial concept through to the software that we have now live. But yeah, we essentially allow small businesses to take online bookings from their website, their Facebook page, a partner site, an app. Really, we just plug in our booking app onto any web presence that they have. And then we manage the impact of that booking kind of right the way through their business. We become the beating heart for some of our smaller organisations. We do work with larger organisations as well, where we have integrations into their other software platforms. But for our small companies, literally Appointed manages everything from the first booking on the website through to creating a CRM record, to giving them reports, maybe online payments. We manage their staff allocation and task allocation, all sorts of different things that really allow them to just keep doing what they trained for or what they loved, and kind of keep the admin to a minimum, I guess.
Bit of everything really then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where did this come from then?
So the initial idea I had, my previous career was as a magazine editor. I used to edit a homes and interiors publication. And unfortunately, in the recession in 2008, that kind of hit at a point where I had a lovely team and we were working really well and everything was going fantastically, but obviously being a homes and interiors publication, it really got hit by the crash, and my team was getting cut back, so my days were getting longer, and I just kind of got used to doing everything online, and the only thing I didn't ever get around to was booking hairdresser appointments. So it was totally girly, but I'd just be really frustrated. I'd drive to work kind of 7 a.m. thinking, right, I must book that appointment. Mm-hmm. And then I'd drive home at kind of 10 p.m. or whatever, going, oh, I didn't do that. And that kind of cycle would continue. At the same time I was, doing my online banking, online Tesco's delivery, all of the big companies that I was interacting with, I was doing online. Mm-hmm. So I was unfortunately made redundant in 2010, and really from there I started working freelancing with small businesses, which I found so inspirational. It was so fab working with kind of 1 to 2 people businesses and really helping them sort of put their best foot forward online, and so this idea sort of came back to me, and I started scoping that in my own time. Started outsourcing originally, so I worked with a web development agency in Edinburgh, really just to get a concept together for Appointed, and the idea was that it was a portal site for different salons and spas to be able to be compared and booked online. And we built the first concept, and we were really lucky. We won one of the very first ever Scottish Edge Awards. So that gave me £30,000 to take that initial online concept and build it into a proper product. And we were able to hire our first developer, Billy, who's still our lead developer and has been with us now for about 3.5 years. So it allowed us to bring that in-house, mm-hmm. but of course kind of started the ticking time bomb of payroll and needing real money.
Important.
Totally, yeah. When you've kind of convinced a very talented developer to leave his very good job and come and join your startup, you feel the pressure. But so it kind of, it just really honed my mind, and Billy and I went through a period of just looking at the product and being very realistic about what we could deliver within a timescale before we ran out of money, and also looked at what were the valuable parts of the product at that point. So we came to the very sad realisation that we were going to have to turn off all of the consumer-facing side of things, because it was just spreading ourselves too thinly as a 2-person team to be building robust software that we could stand behind and believe could manage a business, and then getting consumers to a portal and kind of building the consumer side of things. So with much sadness, we turned off the consumer side and decided to focus on the software. And actually, that also came from, at this point, I was starting to pitch for our first round of investment. And it just came from seeing what investors were really interested in kind of putting their money behind, and that was scalable cloud-based software. So yeah, we did that, and really, I guess it's gone from strength to strength there, because it allowed us to really focus. So at that point, just Billy and I, we raised some investment, and we were able to hire Claire and Greg, who have both been with us for about a year and a half now. And we've just raised another round. So we closed a round of 695,000 just a couple of months ago now. So we're building the team.
Congratulations.
Thank
so
you.
You mentioned quite a bit about the software. That seems to be a pretty big part of the business. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and kind of how it came to be such a major focus?
Yeah, totally. So as I said, we had the split and kind of looking at what we had. We started speaking to customers and really just heard loud and clear, yes, we want a software platform. We want to take bookings online. That's absolutely the heart of our software. But if we're going to do that, we then want to be able to manage it through. So we want to be able to create customer records, and we want to be able to set tasks against those customers, see how much those customers have spent with us or how much time we've spent working with them. And it just really came from customer demands and then saying, okay, but does it do this? And these, we'd hear the same things over and over again. It wasn't really a difficult product design job, because we spoke to people and literally you'd just see the same themes coming through. So now it really sits at the heart of the business and manages lots of different aspects of a small business. And then we've got a ton of integrations. We've really spent a lot of time focusing on how we can connect ourselves with other SaaS platforms to add value to our customers. So we've got integrations with QuickBooks, Xero, Free Agent, kind of a ton of accountancy software platforms. Point of sale, we have an integration with EPOS Now, which is a fab way of kind of taking the process from online booking all the way through to that process, paying the customer, paying for it and getting their till receipt and all of that being handled. So yeah, we've a ton of different integrations, and it's really been about seeing how we can add the most value and kind of just take away as much admin as we can for a small business. A lot of our businesses are very small businesses who there's one person or two people dealing with everything, and having been a startup, and obviously there'll be kind of lots of people in this position, you're managing everything, and that's super hard. So we've tried to kind of take our position in a business's life, connect with other people who can have the same sort of value, and just give it a really streamlined process.
I think for most people, a reduction in admin is a pretty good thing.
Totally, that's it. It's we all feel it, don't we?
Yeah, I cannot answer this question with what's behind us, but why Edinburgh? I mean, there's beautiful offices, fantastic view, but why here?
It's funny you should say the view. One of the things that we love about Edinburgh, there's so many things that I love about being here, but one of the things is, when we're hiring, we did an interview recently with a salesperson down in London, and he asked exactly the same thing. I sat in here doing a Skype interview, and he was like, why Edinburgh? It's not London, it's not Dublin. I was like, just wait with me, and literally just carried my laptop around and was like, this is the view from our boardroom.
It's pretty good.
So yeah, totally. So being able to have such fantastic offices and being part of an amazing startup community, I think is so important to us. I didn't, it wasn't by design. I came to uni here, met my husband, and this is where I was, so this is where we built Appointed. But I think with hindsight, strategically, it couldn't have been a better move. I think, our offices where we are, we're really close to code base, so we get, real accessibility to amazing startups who we kind of, work with, collaborate with, is so inspiring to us. We've had amazing support from all sorts. So Scottish Edge Award, for me, I absolutely know that if we hadn't have won the Scottish Edge Award at that point, we wouldn't be in business now, because I had no plan B as to how to hire an in-house developer, and I didn't realise at the time the importance of that. So yeah, without Scottish Edge, we wouldn't have been here. Entrepreneurial Spark, without eSpark, we probably wouldn't have won Scottish Edge. So that training and honing of the idea. So I just think there's so many support networks around. A lot of our investment has come from the Scottish Investment Bank, who match fund, and just also I think there are amazing investors here. The majority of our investors are based in Scotland, if not in Edinburgh. Yeah. We've certainly got a few outside, but having our investor base who are right here, we can meet them for a coffee, we can ask them for advice, ask them for intros. It just makes a massive, massive difference. And I think because the network in Edinburgh is smaller than that of London or other places, you get to know people really well, and people will always be looking out for you. We've had amazing opportunities come from people just recommending us.
For sure. I mean, I can completely understand, like I mentioned before, the project that I'm working on. So we're opening up public sector challenges to the SME community, to the digital community in Scotland. And so many people have kind of, come forth, and it's been really encouraging. And, just the networks that are available. And I think the passion and the innovation that's happening, it's really promising. And it shows that we can get some really good things, and hopefully we as a public sector can take those and improve services for everyone. So there's lots of support networks in Edinburgh and around here, but what is it like for your team? So can you tell us a little bit about them and kind of how it's grown? I mean, you said you started off just yourself, and as we can see from your offices, it's a little bit bigger than that now.
Yeah, I mean, we're still small, but we've got such a wonderful team. I'm so lucky with the people we work with. So, as I said, Billy joined me 3.5 years ago as lead developer. We then, Greg joined us about 1.5 years, maybe nearly 2 years ago now, as our front-end developer, and he's just grown into totally kind of owning all of that front-end side of things. We've just had another developer join the front-end team, and they're kind of working fabulously together. Claire, who kind of was our first commercial hire, initially focused on customer development and kind of customer excellence and support. She's now moved into a head of partnerships role. Okay. We see that as a massive growth opportunity for us, so she's really driving those forward. She's been replaced by Kirsty, our new customer excellence person, and we have Mark, who handles our marketing, with designer starting in a week and a half, which we're so excited about, because I think one of the things, as we've built the functionality in the software, and it's a really, quite a big piece of tech now, one of the things you worry about when you're reacting to so many customer kind of feedback points and adding bits of functionality, is it still a really nice streamlined user experience and that sort of thing. So it'll be amazing to have a full-time designer. We were really lucky that we had a fantastic design intern with us from Design Informatics. But yeah, having somebody whose whole focus is going to be that is super exciting for us. So yeah, it's great to be part of a growing team. Hopefully we'll have another 3 or 4 people join us in the next few while. So
you've got a pretty good balance going on. We've got a question in from Lisa. Have you had any difficulties as a female entrepreneur?
It's always a funny one, this one. There are things that are undoubtedly annoying. There's not so many women who are kind of leading companies and that sort of thing. You do get the everyday sexism of, in fact, I had it just the other day. I was invited to present the Duke of Edinburgh Gold Awards at the Palace, which was wonderful.
Very exciting.
But literally, I just got totally ignored by all of the management, who were really focused on this guy who was kind of my usher, he was just in charge of making sure I was in the right place, kind of thing. Wow. But everyone just kind of ignored me as if there was no consequence to me being there. But I would say, I think there's probably way more positives to it than there are negatives for me. There is a smaller network of female entrepreneurs, so we absolutely have each other's back so much. There's so much support between us. I was really lucky to get involved in Girl Geek Scotland at an early stage. And those guys just totally, that support network is still with me now, and I can still kind of pick up the phone to them and meet them for wine and stuff. So that's amazing. Yeah, totally. And I think people are very, aware of wanting to make sure that there is a representation across both genders. So I think sometimes we probably get opportunities that maybe we wouldn't have. And so I just feel really, really lucky that I don't think it's held me back. And I think you just deal with the cards you've been dealt, don't you? So it's, it's one of those things. I try just not to really think about it, to be honest. I think it is harder sometimes, but that's it. I mean, Women's Enterprise Scotland is a wonderful network as well that I should mention on that side. I'm an ambassador for them, and they're all about just making sure that there's an even playing field. And I think Scotland is really, really forward thinking in that way.
Yeah, great. I mean, you speak about some of the networks and the partnerships. So what does that kind of mean for you and for Appointed?
Yeah, I mean, partnerships for us, as I said, we're just seeing it as a massive growth opportunity. We've been really lucky in that generally our partnerships have approached us one way or another. And that's been fantastic because it's stuff that we probably wouldn't have gone and pitched for. So it's really opened our eyes to the opportunities that are out there. So we are just in the kind of delivery phase at the moment with a distribution partnership with National Australia Bank.
Wow.
Which, it's fantastic.
Other side of the world, that's pretty big.
Totally. And so it's essentially an integrated platform of 12 apps that all integrated, sharing data and then sharing data with the online banking system. So the small business customers, and it'll be rolled out to a potential 700,000 SMEs across Australia who are using the National Australia Bank business banking. So we're all integrated together, and those customers can then build their own kind of bespoke dashboard of all of the KPIs from their different SaaS platforms.
Wow.
So it's so fab, and I think it'll just add so much value. We're kind of in a pilot phase at the moment, and it's going really well. So that's really exciting, and that'll give us kind of reach that we couldn't have dreamed of, and like you say, across the other side of the world.
Yeah.
We've another really exciting partnership that we'll be launching hopefully in the next few weeks in America with a big network of co-working spaces and serviced offices. So that's a really exciting one as well. And it just, the way that we can add the most value is working with a kind of parent organisation, whether that's a network of co-working spaces or, an organisation such as FSB or SCDI or those kind of platforms, adding the value at a top level in that organisation, but then also being cascaded to their small businesses and adding value there. So it's super exciting. It's really good.
I'm a little off topic with this one, but would you say that kind of these international networks could have come from being just in Edinburgh and, like you said, with the community before, or are these kind of just opportunities that have come about given the software that you've had and kind of the interest that generated?
I think there's a bit of both.
Okay.
I think certainly getting out there. So interestingly, the National Australia Bank opportunity came from us being in Las Vegas. So it's totally random, and just we met the guys that are delivering that at a conference in Vegas. So you definitely, I think, have to get out and just meet as many people as possible. But I do think the functionality in the product at the end of the day is always going to be the thing that makes you stand out. For us, the thing that we've found has gotten the most interest is we've built the world's first multi-time zone booking platform. So we enable any organisation, whether it's a two-person kind of photography business or a one-person photography business or a multinational organisation, to have as many people as they want, all bookable on one software system, on one booking app, on the website, but for them to be in any time zone and to have multiple time zones all bookable at once. And then we kind of take that another step further by allowing a person to have a different time zone per day.
Wow.
So it just means it's the most flexible online booking system on the market, and that when we're talking to National Australia Bank or those bigger clients, that just makes us stand out because they know, whatever their customers' needs, we can help them take online bookings.
Well, you said you're the first people to do that. It seems something that is so kind of obvious, but it's fantastic that
it's
you guys...
just super hard. We
doesn't
with
sound
hindsight,
easy.
Yeah, totally. With hindsight, I don't think we would have embarked on it had we have realised how difficult it is, because obviously there's so many different time zones, they all move at different points, there's your half-hour ones, there's places that don't move when somewhere else moves, and there's just so much craziness. But it came out of a customer who got in touch with us. They weren't a customer at the time, but got in touch and they wanted to be able to travel. It was a director of a multinational business, they're a business development agency, and he was kind of really frustrated. He'd looked everywhere for this, he'd spoken, he'd just like picked up the phone to loads of companies and been like, this is what I want, can you do it? And nobody could, and nobody was willing to kind of entertain the idea of developing something like that. And so it was serendipitous for us, because we were starting to look at internationalising and how we handled time zones as a whole. But this was kind of a crazy step into the unknown. Billy and Greg are amazing developers, and just really brave and optimistic. And they were like, yeah, no worries, we can do that. Literally, it was like 6 months of hell for them, and they emerged bleary-eyed, and yeah, lots of testing, lots of hardcore, but yeah, it's really good, and it really makes us stand out in the market. It's a really nice, defensible USP.
So you've got world domination sorted.
Yeah,
that's fine. And you mentioned that you were kind of with the beauty industry. Are there any other industries that Appointed is across, or is it predominantly? You had photography as well. Is it kind of those, or is it like a global general span? Yeah,
I mean, we're like constantly surprised by the people that will sign up to us. We have some real sweet spot industries. So beauty is a really nice one. It was an early industry for us. And yeah, the functionality's fairly straightforward there, so that's a really nice one. Photography's good. Co-working and serviced offices is a space that we're so excited about at the moment. We've got our partner in the US that we'll roll out with, and they've got hundreds of spaces around the world, but there's so much movement and opportunity in that industry at the moment. I think with kind of people like WeWork coming along and really stirring it up, yeah, there's a lot of excitement there, so that's a good one for us. But it's really, I mean, it's anybody who sells their time or a resource's time. So it's car valets, dog walkers, skip hire companies, yeah, storage companies. It's, you know, it is just about the management of either your time or a resource's time, and that can look like a multitude of things, and basically people decide what they want to use Appointed for. We've got people who use it to book deliveries, or there's, you know, it's a very flexible system. It's so easy to set up, and you know, once you've got it tailored for you, it does feel like it's just for your business.
Yeah, it's really good. We've got another question in from Martin. I'm not sure how how big this one is. What impact, if any, has or could Brexit have on the company?
Oh, it's just horrid, isn't it? I'm just really sad about Brexit. Yeah, I think that one just literally, I don't think anybody expected it to happen, to be honest. I campaigned for Stronger In. I was asked to be an ambassador for those guys, and kind of was involved actively. So I was aware that, of course, obviously there was a potential, but I think we all thought it won't happen in the end. You know, it's going to be tight, but yeah, obviously that happened. So I mean, for us, I feel ridiculously lucky that we've raised our investment. So we've just closed that. We've got money in the bank to ride out the storm. I think it'll have a big impact on investment, and especially at early stage. I think seed investment, where investors, you know, there are some amazing investors in Scotland who are willing to take a punt and to, you know, listen to you, hear that you've got an idea that they think might work, see the passion, see the drive, and go, right, okay, I'll back you because I feel passionately about Scotland being a great place to build a startup, and yeah, just powering small teams and that sort of thing. And I think it'll unfortunately probably make those people a bit more cautious, because there's just less money, there's been a crash, there's, you know, so there's just very real impacts like that. I think there's a lot of opportunity as well. It kind of feels horrible to talk about the opportunity, I still kind of feel, but I think there is. I think there'll be people that do wonderful things in this, because any big kind of stramash will stir everything up, and will, you know, out of that will come stuff. I think the important thing for us as a team, I guess also I should say we feel really lucky that our big partnerships are outside of Europe, and I think that was, that wasn't a strategic thing, but if those big partnerships were in Europe now, we'd be really worried. So I think, there's all of that, but I think as a team we have just said, let's carry on. There's so much unknown at the moment, so it doesn't feel the right time. Our chairman, Kenny Fraser, wrote a great blog about it, about kind of just keeping on course, because any change of course at this point could probably, it could be as likely the wrong change as it is the right change. So we're keeping head down, we're trying to stay focused, not get too distracted by it, look for the opportunities, if and when they come, and really just hope that things do stay. I think the most positive thing that we can do is just carry on doing what we're doing with more passion and more drive, because it is going to get harder. We're doing a hard job and it's going to get harder. But startups are resilient because we're used to it being hard and we're used to the unknown. So, from that point of view, I think we're in as good a place as we could be. Yeah,
great. So with that, what are your plans for the future? We've already established you've got world domination sorted.
I mean, that's it. So I'm
you've
just
got all
going
the
to take a
industries done.
It's all good. No, I think we have a development pipeline as long as my arm. The guys are amazing. We do a lot of we talk to our customers all of the time. It's something that we've done from the very beginning. So we have every 2 weeks we'll have a full team meeting where we'll just, and sometimes it's like half an hour, sometimes it's 2 hours, but we'll spend that time getting feedback from Kirsty, who does all of our customer support, on what people are asking for, the themes and all of that sort of stuff. So we've now got a really good idea of what our target market wants and what they want us to deliver. So we've set about doing that. More partnerships. We've got some really, really exciting ones coming through already, and some of those will be integrations as well. So again, kind of adding more value to our customers, not by building ourselves, but by making sure we're part of a connected kind of ecosystem. We'll grow, hopefully, which will be sad. We're really lucky we share this office with Malsey and with Tipplebox and a few others, freelancers and that sort of thing. And we're kind of soon going to be bursting at the seams, I think. So Appointed may have to go and find a new office. But yeah, hopefully not too soon. There'll be lots of change ahead, but hopefully exciting.
Great. Well, we mentioned about the support networks that are in Edinburgh, and this is the time where I say, so I'm working on this new project. Okay. What we are aiming to do is we are collecting challenges from public sector organisations, and we're throwing them out to the Scottish digital ecosystem and kind of asking anyone and everyone to apply. What we're going to do is we're going to take these, and the successful ones are going to be put into an accelerator, and then we're going to give them some funding. They're going to work with who we call challenge sponsors, so SEPA, NHS, Transport Scotland, and hopefully, although we're not entirely sure how it's all going out, and then we're going to put them out to the global system. As someone who has come from the startup background, what would you say to an organisation like that? Is it something that could have been helpful for you if you were going out? I mean, we're getting involved, like I said, from the challenge sponsors, from citizens. We're pulling in everything. I know you mentioned user experience is quite a big thing for you, so it's something that pulls all of those things together. Do you think that could be the future of startups?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's so interesting. I love to hear those kind of things, and I think that does happen in Scotland. Yes, well done. But no, I think Scotland's really kind of that way, and can sit in a locked office and theorise about what people want and kind of try and deliver something and it all be fairly academic. Or yes, you can say there's a ton of talented people out there who I guess would get an amazing first customer when they build exactly what that customer wants. Exactly. So yeah, I think it's amazing. I think kind of that sort of development is the future, and I think more connected development is certainly the future. What I would love to see from that is then you guys looking at the product that gets built and then saying, okay, how else can we connect this to other startups who are already existing, who can add value, and who then become part of that ecosystem so that it becomes more connected in every sense. Yeah,
bring it all together.
Yeah.
We've just got another question from Jamie, and what are the key challenges since you started key challenges since you started, are they the same as what you expected? Have any kind of come from the field, taking you by surprise?
Everything taken me by surprise. Do you know, they have just been so varied and so many. The biggest challenge is, of course, commercialization. You know, there are so many kind of amazing products out there, and you know, we're really, really proud of our functionality, and we're proud of kind of how we add value and all of that sort of thing. But it is hard to get out to mass market, and that is why for us the partnerships has been a really nice way to do that, because it gets us, you know, out to a big network of people where we know we can add value, we know, you know, what they look like and how we fit into their, you know, existing lives. So that's been a really good one. But we're part of a network of founders in Scotland who all meet for dinner every month. We had dinner last night, it was really good. But the key challenge for all of us was marketing. You know, we like sat around B2B, B2C, everyone kind of bouncing around what they were doing, what was working for them. And I think the kind of message that came out of it is, A, there's no silver bullet, and B, it changes all of the time. So you nail something, you know, lose something else, you know, it's a constant kind of movement, and you have to stay on your feet. And I think that, not to kind of do too broad a stroke across all of the challenges that startups have, but I think the thing that I've found has helped us stay on top of them is just taking nothing as read, being as agile as you can, moving with things, seeing how the market's moving, what's happening, and just trying to stay ahead of it and to innovate where you can, kind of thing, and not take things too seriously.
Have a bit of fun.
Yeah, totally. Know that you can only do so much, and you know, if you've got the right people around you and you're doing things in the best way that you guys can as a team, then hopefully you'll succeed.
Great.
Yeah, tenacity is key. I would say.
Keep going.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Keep going.
Okay.
Thank you very much. It's been a
you.
pleasure talking to you. And if you want to see any of the other Product Forge Q&As, you can find them at productforge.live. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.